Buddy, will the clerk please call the roll?
Calling the roll for the Monday, September 23rd, 2024 Board of Control meeting. It is 11:02 a.m. We have Councilmember Meredith Turner,
Present.
Councilmember Dale Miller,
Present.
Trevor Meckler serving as an alternate for Purnell Jones Jr.,
Here.
Melanie Say serving as an alternate for Mike Dever,
Here.
Catherine Gallagher serving as an alternate for Chris Renee, County Executive,
Here.
Michael Chambers, Fiscal Officer serving as Chairman,
Here.
Paul Porter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, we have to review and approve the minutes from September 16th. I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved. Any public comment?
No public comment.
Let's go to our first item.
First item, BC 2024-681, Department of Public Works submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to APG Office Furnishings in the amount not to exceed $52,498.19 for a joint cooperative purchase of various furniture and fixtures, installation and design services for 6 additional workstations for the Harvard Avenue Maintenance Facility, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, everyone. Tom Pavich, Public Works. This is a purchase order with APG. This is for furniture for the Harvard facility. There was a few areas that were multi-purpose. We're finishing out that area to put in several workstations to close out the office area. The procurement method was a joint cooperative with Omni, which was previously bid and or negotiated.
Thank you, Mr. Pavich. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-682, Department of Public Works submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in award recommendation to Pitney Bowes Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $255,028.80 for a state contract purchase for lease, maintenance, and support services of mailing equipment located at various county buildings, effective upon contract signatures of all parties for the period November 28, 2024 through November 27, 2027, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Tom Pavich, again, Public Works. This is approval of the county's mail machine equipment lease with Pitney Bowes. It's a 3-year contract. We've got mail machines located at 3 locations, one here at the Administration Building, the Virgil Brown Building, and the Justice Center. The procurement is off of a State of Ohio cooperative.
Thank you, Tom. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Mr. McAleer. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item's approved. Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-683, Department of Sustainability submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in award recommendation to the Brendel Group Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $49,900 for updates to emissions, inventories, and reporting, segmenting data by municipal jurisdictions, preparing, forecasting, and development of a host site for visualization of greenhouse gas emissions in Cuyahoga County, effective upon contract signatures of all parties through June 30th, 2025, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Matt Ruby, Department of Sustainability. As stated, so this contract with the Brendel Group will accomplish a couple of things. So we have an existing greenhouse gas inventory with data through 2020. Through this contract, that will be updated with the most recent year's worth of data, definitely 2022, hopefully 2023. In addition to that, the inventory is going to go deeper. So it's going to provide data by jurisdiction with all 59 communities. It's going to be forecasting out, and it's also going to be focusing on county operations and what we can do internally. This was funded through a federal grant, and part of that grant was given to us specifically for this work. It is contributing to NOACA's second phase of climate action planning, so they will get the results of this to feed into their data set or whatever it is that they're going to do.
Thank you, Matt. Are there any questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Miller. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-684, Fiscal Office submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to Precision Industrial Services in the amount not to exceed $15,469.22 for state contract purchase and installation of Mannington carpet tiles and related flooring materials for the replacement of carpeting in Suite 330 at Courthouse Square, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Dominique Tatum, Fiscal Department. So this purchase order is the second part of the purchase order that was presented a few weeks ago by the prosecutor's office. We have a group in our Treasury Department that's stationed over in that department, so we're just paying our portion for the carpet replacement.
Thank you, Dominique. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-685, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to Integrated Precision Systems Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $8,986.25 for state contract purchase, installation, and programming of 5 replacement access multi-directional cameras at the county jail, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Dennis Sullivan, Department of IT. As Cheryl just read into the record, this did receive state term pricing. It is IT standard for surveillance. This is replacing 5 existing cameras over at the jail.
Thank you, Dennis. Are there questions from the board on this item?
Yes. Are the existing cameras no longer working effectively or outdated, or what's the problem?
They're both, Dale. They're end of life, and they've had problems with a couple of them.
Okay.
Okay. Seeing no further questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Miller. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Item approved.
Thank
Next
you.
item. Thank you.
Next item, BC 2024-686, Court of Common Pleas Corrections Planning Board submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to Case Western Reserve University and the amount not to exceed $184,000 for data collection, process, and outcome evaluation services for the Mental Health Adult Drug Court Docket Pilot Program for the period September 30th, 2023 through October 1st, 2027, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Paul Porter, Department of Purchasing, on behalf of Linda Lagoonzad. Linda wasn't able to make it over today, but this is a grant-funded contract, so that's the reason for the RFP exemption. The vendor was named in the grant for an expansion of an adult drug court docket pilot program that's going to allow the court to serve offenders that have both a substance abuse issue and a diagnosed mental illness. This is going to allow for data collection and analysis of how that pilot program is working, and it's funded under a Bureau of Justice Assistance grant.
Thank you, Paul. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second? Seconded by Ms. Melanie Say. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item?
Next item, BC 2024-687, Court of Common Pleas Corrections Planning Board submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to Case Western Reserve University in the amount not to exceed $160,000 for data collection, process, and outcome evaluation services for the Cuyahoga County Veterans Treatment Court Program enhancement for the period October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2027, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Paul Porter, Department of Purchasing, on behalf of the Corrections Planning Board. Again, this is similarly for evaluation services related to an existing docket for veterans that are experiencing substance abuse issues. It's anticipated that 40 to 50 veterans per year will be served under this contract. And the docket is already existing. This is just going to be to analyze whether the work of that docket is successful or not.
Thank you again, Paul. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Melanie Say. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved. Next item.
Next, item BC 2024-688, Court of Common Pleas Juvenile Court Division submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to Rutzel and Andrews LPA in the amount not to exceed $105,720 for legal services and representation in litigations related to labor matters with Laborers Local 860 for the period January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2024, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Hi, this is Marie Andel from Juvenile Court. Rutzel and Andrus has a contract that, in addition to the Western Herd contract approved by the board at the end of June for legal services and representation in litigations related to labor matters with Laborers Local 860. Unfortunately, the court is unable to comment on the nature of legal services being provided except to say that they are related to active litigation, not union negotiations. As the court's statutory representative, the prosecutor's office determined they are unable to represent the court in these matters and already obtained common pleas approval jointly with the county executive pursuant to RC 305.14 for outside counsel. They were chosen upon the recommendation of the prosecutor's office.
Thank you, Marie. Are there questions from the board on this item? Mr. Mackler?
Mr. Chair, I understand the reason can't comment on it. Council, I don't think has gotten an update from the prosecutor's office on this recently, so I don't know in terms of timing, considering this is backdated to 1/1/23, if council could get an update in executive session first, not at the council executive session, and then put this item back on the agenda.
Next week?
Yeah, if that, I hopefully the prosecutor's office can come in, if it's okay with the council members. I know they had a couple questions about this. We thought it was related to CBA. We got the.
Apparently it's not, yeah. Well, you're asking to hold it, we'll hold it. Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Just to clarify, you guys will discuss this tomorrow at executive session?
Yeah, hope,
Okay.
I gotta figure out if the schedule, if we can pull it off, but if not, maybe just have a conversation with the prosecutor's office just to get an update. So.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, we're gonna hold this item, let the team know, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Next item?
Next, item BC 2024-689, Court of Common Pleas Juvenile Court Division submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to Third Sector Capital Partners Incorporated and the amount not to exceed $450,000 for professional and technical services to support the court and various youth serving system partners and development of the Care First Cuyahoga Continuum of Care Program for youths and their families for the period August 1st, 2024 through October 31st, 2025, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Again, Marie Andel from Juvenile Court. This contract for Third Sector is in the amount of $450,000 and is 100% funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Grant. Juvenile Court will contract with Third Sector to design a continuum of care called Care First Cuyahoga to divert youth from the youth justice system.
Thank you, Marie. Are there any questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item?
Next, item BC 2024-690, Department of Public Safety and Justice Services recommending an award and submitting an agreement with Cleveland State University in the amount not to exceed $196,836 for operating support of the web application drughelp.care, effective upon contract signatures of all parties for a period of 1 year.
Good morning, Mary Beth Vaughn from Public Safety. And this application, which is already up and running, allows treatments agencies to update their available treatment slots and their wait times on a daily basis. It offers a centralized system for substance abuse provider agencies to share the information about their treatment options. But just as importantly, it's free to the public, and it allows them to, it helps them when they're looking for treatment options, either for themselves or for their loved ones.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve it. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved.
Thank you.
Next item.
Next, item BC 2024-691, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Family and Children First Council, submitting an RFP exemption which will result in a payment to Belford JCB in the amount not to exceed $11,371.27 as final payment for July 2023 for opioid addiction prevention and training services for various school districts in Cuyahoga County and promotion of a positive social norms campaign for services rendered under contract number 1671 during the contract term of September 7, 2021 through July 31st, 2023, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Kathleen Stewart from Family and Children First Council. We had two contracts with Belfair, one for the opioid project and one for the crisis bed, and there was a inadvertent payment on the crisis bed invoice, but it should have been for the opioid, so it made the opioid contract short. So we reached out, once it was found out by our fiscal office reached out to DCAB, OBM, to try to figure out how to resolve this issue. So that's why we're here today to pay the last invoice with this purchase order.
Okay, Kathleen, thank you. Are there questions from the board? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item?
Next item BC 2024-692, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Office of Early Childhood, submitting an RFP exemption which will result in award recommendation to Case Western Reserve University's Center on Urban Poverty and Community Development in the amount not to exceed $260,000 for implementation, management, and evaluation of Invest in Children programs for the period July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2026, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Marcos Cortez with Health and Human Services on behalf of the Office of Early Childhood, Invest in Children. Again, this is a contract with Case Western Reserve University for our ongoing implementation, management, and evaluation of Invest in Children programs. The Center on Poverty and Community Development has been a long-term partner evaluating our programs. They're currently working on several items for us at this time.
Thank you, Marcos. Other questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item?
Moving on to consent agenda items BC 2024-693 through BC 2024-696.
Just a couple items, board members. If there's any questions, feel free. Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve today's consent agenda items as listed. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Today's consent agenda items are approved. Moving on to other business.
No other business?
Public comment?
No public comment?
I will make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by everybody. All in favor to adjourn, say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.